Welcome to Powerful Programmer Series.
Hello everybody, my name is Elias, and today I'm going to go over a comparison of some programming languages. So it's very important to know that there's 4 distinct types of programming languages. We have machine language, assembly, low-level, and high-level languages. Now, the difference between these is that the further you go down the list, the less abstracted it gets, and vice versa. The higher you go, the more abstracted. Abstraction is a process where you're generalizing some instructions in order to make an easier experience of programming. And I'll show you an example of that. So machine language is pure zeros and ones. 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, dot, 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 etc. This is how the computer hardware interacts with our program via these zeros and ones. This is all good and all, but as humans, we cannot really read this. So we have to abstract it to something called assembly. And I'm not going to write it down, but assembly looks something like this. It looks a little bit complicated, but it definitely is more readable for humans compared to machine language. I'm going to go more in depth into these two low-level and high-level languages. You might have more familiarity with them. So some examples of low-level languages might be C, C++, Rust. And then for high-level languages are languages like Python, Java, JavaScript, C#, etc. So what's really the difference between these two sets of languages? Well, the higher level languages are more abstracted. And so what that means is that they're easier to program in because you can say they're less confusing, for example, or they're just less tedious to work with. So in Python, in Java, and JavaScript, you might do web applications, data analysis. You might develop apps, and so on. So things you can visualize, sort of, what kind of programming languages these make, and what kind of programs they make. For these, on the other hand, these are languages where performance is, the main factor in the program. So for these languages, you might see something like embedded systems. So those are things like, traffic lights, things that have a very specific function, but that function must be done well. Also, if you want performance, C++ is very good with game development. You want all those frames. It's also very good with heavy scientific computing. We have to run a bunch of simulations and such. So you can kind of see how the languages differ. I also perhaps mentioned that Python is big with artificial intelligence, which is a big topic in this moment. But there's the distinction between them. If you want advice on which one to learn, or which one should I learn, which one pays the most, which one, has the most users, those all have a lot of different questions, but they also have a lot of different factors that contribute to those answers. So for my advice, I would say it's very beneficial to learn Python, Java, C++, and C if you're beginning. You also might want to check out a language called Scratch if you're a complete beginner, called Scratch. It'll help you learn programming a little bit easier than any of this might do. But Python, Java, C, and C++ are some of the big contenders in the programming language game. That's all I have for you, so thank you.
that's a wrap for today's episode of Powerful Programmers series. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Until next time, keep learning, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next Powerful Programmers episode.